Hi everybody, Mary here with All That's Crafty, and I got a couple of things I bought that I wanted to share with everybody. I have been watching, of course, my YouTube and love it, and Lawn Fawn came out with this last CHA, a cleaning cloth that it can be used over and over, and it doesn't leave any lint on your stamps, and you just need to add water to it. And I think it's somewhere between $7, $8, $9, something like that for retail. Don't remember exactly, and it's, a single sheet. Well, it reminded me of a chamois, but because of its color, it's kind of the teal Lawn Fawn color. I showed the video to my husband, and he said that's a synthetic chamois. So I said, well, I want to try one of those. And so I'm going to show you what I found and move our shopping buggy out of the way. Well, first off, I just happened to be in the Dollar Tree, and I saw this handy chamois, and of course, Dollar Tree, it's $1, and, it's supposed to hold all the liquid and everything. Well, this is not good for stamping, because when you clean the stamps, it did clean it with the water, damped it and wrung it out and everything. This is a second one that I purchased. It does leave lint. So this is great for dusting in your house, but it will leave lint on your stamps. So synthetic chamois for $1, not going to work. All right, and so then my husband found one online at one of the auto supply places, but it was about $14, $15. So last night we were in Walmart, and I said, hey, go find out if they have one of those. And so this is what he came back with, and it is called the Absorber, and I haven't opened it yet. And it's supposed to, you could dry a small car in 2 to 3 minutes with this thing. It resists to most chemicals, unharmed by grease and oil, tough and lintless, which is very important, and lasts for years and is a great substitute for towels. So this is supposed to be a synthetic chamois, and this one was only $9. And the size of this, just so you see the comparison, this is 27 inches by 17 inches. So for roughly the same price as the tiny one you get if you order the Lawn Fawn stamp cleaner, I got a huge one. So we're going to open it up, and it comes in this little tube, and just like the one that they had, it's a little moistened already. And I know that if you just lay these out, they'll dry, and then you're just supposed to re-wet it and wring it out. Let's see what it says before use. It says, before first use, rinse out thoroughly with warm water, and it may be stored damp in the tube, which that's good to know. You can store it damp in the tube, and so it's always ready to use. And it's blue on blue, so it's kind of hard to read the writing on here. So basically, if there's anything else, I will tell you in just a second. Yeah, it tells you how to clean it and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the film. I'm going to go rinse this out with warm water like it says, and read the rest of the directions that are hard to see. And when I come back, I'm going to tell you the rest of the directions, and we're actually going to stamp and clean the stamp with it and see how it does. Be right back. Well, I've gone ahead and opened it, so I want to go ahead and tell you the rest of the directions. After you, if you want to store it in the tube, so it's always ready to use, it says it won't rot when kept wet in the tube. If the absorber dries out, simply re-wet. And then machine wash with regular laundry, use liquid detergent. And it does say that it is unaffected by detergent and or ammonia. And then it also says to thoroughly clean before storing to help avoid odor or mildew. Odor or mildew will not affect the absorber if either occurs. Wash as above, do not bleach. That's all the instructions. So basically, if I was going to put this away wet, I don't think so, because I am highly allergic to mold. So I'd rather this thing just lay and dry out and re-wet it and not have to worry about it growing mold. But look how big it is. You know, sometimes we have a hard time, some folks, with visualizing a 17 by 27. So that's part of it, and I can't even get half of it in frame. And it does say the absorber on it, but I mean, okay, there it goes. That's half of it folded in half. So you can see it's quite big. So let me go rinse this out and I'll be right back. Alrighty, we are back with our wrung out chamois. It does feel pretty nice. It's probably about 1/8 of an inch thick, I think. But let's grab the stamps and paper and stuff I pulled out. I pulled out some red ink because I wanted you guys to be able to see. And you know, red usually will stay on your ink, on your stamp after you've cleaned it. You know, you can always find some residue from a red stamp. So I'm just cleaning it off. What? See, it's wet, so let's see. Well, it's sitting there pulling up some paper because it's so sticky. This is actually one of my paper tray ink. I got glitter on this stamp for somehow, but that's okay. Let's give it a whirl. We're going to go ahead and get this inked up here. I love this ink. This is the Ranger dye ink in classic red. So I just want to go ahead and stamp it like, you know, if we were creating a card. Beautiful image, but look how red our stamp is. So, you know, hello. So let's try and clean it. So we're just going to put it on here with nothing else. And, you know, red will stain the stamp. That is normal if your stamps get stained. That's not a bad thing. That's actually a sign of a quality stamp. So I see lots of red coming off, and I'm still, you know, rubbing because like I said, I chose red because red's hard to clean. So make sure I don't have any more residue coming off of this stamp. And then and see, it still looks red. Oh, can you? Yep. So, see. Let's see how it works. Okay, you've been seeing how much I'm cleaning. I'm not editing this or anything, just trying to give it a good twist there. Let's see what she does now. Pressing pretty hard. Ah, not good. It still is dirty. It tore the paper, but it's still dirty. Interesting. So far, this one is not making me quite so happy. So what we're going to do is pull out, since it's not affected by chemicals, let's see how it, oh, that's eyeglass cleaner. That won't work. How about some stamp cleaner? It's not affected by chemicals, so let's go ahead and, you know, give it a shot. And you're like, well, if you have to use stamp cleaner, why do you want this? Well, if this works, I would rather invest in one of these than continuing to buy the baby wipes, if you know what I mean, because the baby wipes do leave lint when you're cleaning. So let's see if putting the stamp cleaner, sorry, I'm shaking the table. Oh, sorry. Let's see if the stamp cleaner helped. And there is still red. It's very faint. See if you can see it. Oh, I don't know if it's right here. So I think you can see it a little bit. It's right there. So, so far I'm like, about this thing. Makes me want to get one of the Lawn Fawn just to see if it does the same thing, because, you know, interesting. Or find somebody who has the Lawn Fawn on YouTube and say, hey, Do you have that classic dye ink? Because it's still leaving a red trace behind. Very interesting. Well, we're going to experiment some more, but right now, I got to go make some magic at work, so I'll talk to y'all later. We'll take this up in a little bit. Bye! Alright, well, we did test the Ranger Classic Cherry ink and removal from our stamp with this chamois cloth that I got called the Absorber from Walmart, and it really had a difficult time, but we all know, or most of us may know, that red ink is very difficult to clean off a stamp anyway. So in fairness, I'm going to go ahead and stamp this again and just try to clean it off with a stamping mist and a traditional type scrubber pad, just to see it wasn't any worse, I don't believe. And then I've got a couple of more inks we're going to give a go and try the new chamois cloth on those to see how well they do. And it, you know, just to see if, yes, it's just the red ink is just that hard to remove. Because think about it, anything we ever stain red, we cry, because we all know red is really difficult to remove. So I've inked this stamp up again with the Ranger Dye Ink Classic Cherry. I love this color red. I think it's beautiful. And I'm just going to turn this over because that was where we were doing our stamping yesterday is when I got to do this. And now I'm back. So okay, let's go ahead and give it a stamp. And beautiful. Love, love, love that. I mean, if you haven't seen the Ranger dye inks, they're gorgeous. Crisp image. Okay, so I'm going to go right over here and use my stamping mist. And I have two. This is kind of a foam one and this has got a hardback on this one. I use them both, as you can see. Going to just give that a few squirts. Go ahead and scrub on that. Sorry, I'm shaking my table with the camera. Ooh, the camera is shaking. Sorry, I'll pick it up. I don't want to make anybody sick. Alright, and then I'm going to just wipe it on here to kind of dry it off. And we're going to stamp it. And just see if we have any residue ink. And we do. So, just like when we cleaned it off with the chamois, we still had residue ink. We still have residue ink here. So, I think it's just the nature of the classic red ink. So, I'm going to go ahead and scrub this a little bit more. And just stamp this until you no longer have any ink coming off of this stamp. And I'm still getting a tiny bit because I really want to get this nice and clean for the next part of the test. So this is still... So notice, you know, if you're stamping with this and you change color and your colors aren't coming out as pure as they should, it might just be that you've got ink still on there and you need to do a little more scrubbing. And not just scrubbing, but just stamping the stamp off to get that residual ink completely off your stamp. So... one more time. Alright, I think I finally am getting it off. I'm going to go ahead and switch to a different one because I really don't want any of that other color showing up. The red. So, this is a different one. I'm just going to clean this just because it's been sitting on my desk and I don't want any... if it's got lint or anything on it, I don't want that on there. So just going to give it a good clean, stamp it just to kind of help dry it off. Alright, and we're going to try the chamois cleaning, and I'm going to get a new piece of scrap cardstock, and we're going to use the Memento and the VersaFine ink for this one, just to see how well that chamois does clean. So I'm just reaching over here in my pile of scraps real quick. Sorry for holding you up. Here's a scrap. Let's give this one a try. Don't want to, you know, stamp on a piece of paper we're still going to need. Okay, I'm going to do the Memento. This is a dye ink also. This is one a lot of people like to use for your Copic coloring and stuff like that because it works well with Copic markers. So, and because it's black, I wanted you guys to be able to see it on the camera and for cleaning. So, got it inked up, and we're just going to go ahead and stamp this leaf out. So, there we go. And it does not look near as black as the flower was red from the ink. Like I said, that is, I think, just part of the nature of red. So, just giving this a few twists on my absorber from Walmart. Alright, that looks really clean. I'm just going to dry it on my arm because I don't want any moisture when I go to the paper. Now let's see if we have any residual ink this time. And we don't. Voila! It's clean! Loving it. Feeling very good about that because that's what I wanted to see. Let's try it again. We're going to do black, and this is your VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and this is a pigment ink. It's an awesome ink for doing sentiments. If you want a black sentiment, this is an awesome ink, and although it is a pigment ink, it's a pretty fast drying ink. You do need to give it a second, but compared to a traditional pigment ink, this one's really fast and very dark. So, and the fine lines of a signature or something like that, I shouldn't say signature, but sentiment, see how dark that is compared to the Memento? You can see the difference, I hope. This almost looks gray, and before it looked black, but against that you can see maybe the difference in the colors. Alright, and it did leave black on the stamp. Well, we're just going to pull over our absorber chamois. Now this is a synthetic chamois. Let's see how it does. Makes a rubbery, squishy sound. Okay, it looks like it might have like a tinge of very faint black. I'm not sure though. Let's keep rubbing. Alright. Just going to dry it on my skin. There's nothing there. Just trying to get the moisture off. And we're going to go ahead and stamp. Nothing. There you go. Once again, nothing. So my verdict, if you want to save money cleaning your stamps and not continuing to buy a bunch of baby wipes that leave lint, this is a great option. Once again, I think look how big this is. Half of it. Okay, so definitely going to need to cut this up because it's 17 by 27 inches. So even if you have some crafting friends, you can split this up and save yourself even more money, you know, by spreading out the cost of it. But this is a synthetic chamois cloth called the Absorber that I found at Walmart for $9. And it gets 2 thumbs up from me for cleaning the stamps and no lint. So thanks for joining me today. And up next, I'm going to have a video showing where I got some things throughout the holiday season that I'm going to use in my craft projects. I'll share that with you soon. Thanks, and I hope you have time to make something crafty for you or someone in your life. Bye!